welcome to our show again. You're here with Shorty
and Ladybug,
and this is Chick Chat. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about single, we're going to be talking about engaged, and we're going to be talking about being married. As you know, I'm married, and as you know, she's single, engaged. I don't know. Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is single relationships. Single people. I'm going to let Ladybug talk about that part.
You act like you don't know about being single.
I don't. It's been a long time.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, what I can say about being single, I feel like being single is fun because you don't have to answer to nobody. You can do what you want, and you can just have fun. Like, you can do whatever. Like, you can talk to whoever, do whatever, and it's funner that way because you can trips and everything else. You ain't got no title, so you can do whatever. You free. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so my question is, like, you know, I'm very into God and everything. So in the Bible, in Bible days, basically, if you're dating but not married, you're still single.
Mm-hmm.
So do these days the millennials, because I'm gonna call you a millennial. Actually, you're not even a millennial. You older than that. But these days, do you feel like even if you're just dating, do you still feel like you're single? Like there is no commitment? Or at some point, do you feel like it's supposed to be a commitment?
I mean, I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's still a commitment because you're still with this person and you're supposed to be faithful to this person and loyal to this person. So I would say it don't hold weight as in marriage, but it still holds some type of weight.
Okay, I'm with that. The only difference is that me personally, when I was single, I never was actually I was in a relationship, but I still consider myself single because, like, I'm nobody's property, you know. I know these days now people always say, why buy the milk when you can get the cow for free? I mean, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? But I feel like that is true to me because I feel like I know people say don't give the man a wife when you're not a wife. Don't treat the man like y'all husband and wife when you're not wives. And then I also saw on a thread they were saying how if you treat a man, you know, if you don't treat a man as a wife, how do they know you good enough to be their wife? You know, so they was trying to find out what the difference was in dating and being married. And so I feel like, you know, when you dating, there is no commitment. It ain't really a commitment. I mean, you can say, okay, I'm going to be with you and only you. But at the end of the day, you still not really committed to that person. Like, you still, anytime this person can just walk out on you.
But it's still kind of like that in a marriage, too, because at the end of the day, everyone's still going to do what they want to do. The marriage, it holds that title, but it's like, it's not really no weight because if a woman or a man wants to go out and cheat, that's what they're going to do, whether they're married or they're single. So it's kind of like, what?
But see, that's my question because when you're married, it's called cheating, but when you're dating, is it still cheating? Because you're not tied down to this person. You know, you don't have a license to say, well, if something happened to my husband, let's say for me, I'm married. So if something happened to my husband, his girlfriend ain't going to get no benefits. I'm going to get the benefits. If my husband is in a hospital, you know, I'm the emergency contact, not his girlfriend or the person he cheated on me with. So it's more like we're more of a commitment than having a girlfriend. Because even if he didn't have a wife and he was just having a girlfriend, you really have no say-so over what's going to happen with his body if he passed away, God forbid. You know, what's going to happen, you know, with his financial situation or where the money gonna go, you know, what's gonna happen if he have any possessions, you know, that even if y'all agreed upon them possessions, because y'all just dating, you don't really have no power over it. over him, over any of his, any of his possessions, basically, over nothing, financial or anything.
I'll say, in my behalf, I ain't getting married yet, but you definitely gonna write my name up on that paper that's saying I'm getting all your belongings and everything. I need all that shit money.
That's your money or shmoney. You so crazy. But are you saying while you're dating?
I mean, okay, so it all depends, like, long term, short term, because...
Wait, and I really want to put this out here that if you do that, his family can contest to whatever thing that y'all had, whatever agreement y'all came to. But because by the courts y'all married, there's nothing that the family can say. They got to really have proof that you did these things that made him pass, or you part of the problem or something like that, to contest it, because all in all, even if you had kids, it'll go to the parent first, the grown up first. Like a lot of kids can't even touch their money till they get to a certain age. So I just wonder about that. I know a lot of people wonder, like, okay, I'm single, or I'm dating, but I'm still single. Is it really a commitment because we're still single, we're not married? And I want to speak up on the engaged part, because I want y'all to know that you can get engaged and be engaged for years before you end up being married. But to be honest, engagement is like in the middle of married and dating, because actually it's more towards dating than engaged. Than married anyway, because when you marry, you get them papers. Paper. I know people be like, that's just a piece of paper. No, that is a governmental piece of paper, which means that if anything happened to your spouse, you get to say so of what goes on. Anything happened to your mate, you love him so much. Anything that happens, you get to say so too. That's what marriage is. What's his is yours. What's yours is his. Y'all basically together. Y'all are together. Y'all not apart. When you engage, you still apart. You still not together fully. This person proposed, but it's like you still dating.
I feel like the engagement is like a trial to figure out, like, if I'm really gonna marry you. Like, it's the practice trial. Like, let's see how we doing. Like, let's see if you the type for me, really. Like, if I'm really finna marry you. Do you cook? Do you clean? Do you do this? Do you do that? Are you a cheater? Are you this? Are you that? Like, I feel like it's part of getting to know the person and realizing, really.
But shouldn't that be in
a relationship? Yeah, kind of. But people, they get engaged so fast. Like, I know someone that got married after knowing each other just for 3 years. And at my same time, I've been with my baby father for 7. So it's like, I ain't engaged and I ain't married and I ain't forcing the issue, because, marriage is not nothing to play with.
Yeah. Like, plus, you going under God, so right. Whatever you do, it's going to affect the issues of you getting into heaven or hell too. Because committing adultery ain't no joke. I've been married for this year, make 15. I've been married for 14 years this year. 15, we've been together. My husband proposed to me 2 months after we got together, but I told him I didn't want to get married until we stay together for a whole year, because I needed to know how it was going to be.
You need to know who you was marrying,
right? We was living together and everything, but like, you never really know a person also until you live with them. That's when you really, really know somebody. Really? So we speaking up on this because people get things confused. You think because you've been dating somebody for 17, 14 years that it's the same as a marriage. No, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not. Like, y'all still are single. You're still single, honey. You're not married. Don't get it twisted, So, yeah, y'all made this. But when you marry, it's a commitment. It's not just a commitment between two people. Okay, I'm going to put it like this. If you stay in somebody's house, right, but you don't sign a contract with them, that is a verbal agreement. A verbal agreement can be broken, and there's nothing nobody can say about it, because nobody knew about your verbal agreement but you and him. You can't take them to court and say, I had a verbal agreement with this person, and they were supposed to treat me like this. You know what I'm saying? It won't hold up because the judge need proof. But if you sign a contract and y'all came in this term, kiss term, it's more like, okay, you embedded in this. You have to do this because if you don't, I can take you to court and get everything that this contract has that I'm entitled to. Imagine that in a relationship. You have a verbal agreement. We gonna be truthful with each other. We're not gonna cheat. That verbal agreement don't mean nothing.
Right.
It's that contractual agreement that means a lot. That's what you could take this person to court for. That's what you could get out of this person, because they done violated your contract, But when you just dating, when you just single, when you engaged and not married, you don't have the governmental papers, you don't have that paper that you signed, that both of y'all signed, there is no mutual agreement really in this. That's just he say and she say, So I say this to you all, and we're coming to you all because we have people that we know, and we hoping y'all listening to this because this is very important to know. We have people who's like this, engaged in a relationship, thinking that y'all are entitled to anything. Y'all are only entitled to what you're given. You're not entitled for a full-blown relationship, a full-blown I am faithful, you are faithful type of relationship. You're not. You just not. If you're not married, they can do whatever they want to do. Even when you is married, they still can't do whatever they want to do, but they will do it. Like my niece says, they will do it. Like Lady Bud said, they will do it. But if they do it, you have the contractual agreement to take them for whatever they have. Because y'all were in a contractual agreement, not a verbal agreement, but a contractual agreement where you can take them to court because it's governmental. You can take them to court. My thing is, I'm just so tired of people trying to compare being single, engaged to being married. Honey, you're not married. You're just with this person, laying up with this person, staying with this person. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? You're probably trying to get to that next level. Or you're probably like Ladybug, not trying to get to that next level. You cool with just being single.
Wait, I ain't saying I'm cool with being single.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
One day in the future, it might come about. I ain't saying I'm going to knock it off. But right. I'm just saying, at the stage that I'm in now, I'm still young. Like, I'm still trying to live my life. I ain't saying I'm trying to, do too much. But I'm just not ready for marriage. I'm not ready to be committed. Like, we can be in a relationship for years on years. I won't do you wrong. You don't do me wrong. But I'm just not ready to take those vows and say that I'm going to be with you forever when forever could
it's a long time, bro. And it could be short. You're right.
Like, forever don't last as long as forever used to live long. Like, it's the same no more. Forever can be 2 days.
That's true.
Like,
and I'm because I'm married and I've been married for so long. Well, not real long. It's not real long compared to some people. But in these time of days, it's long. Because I've been married for 14 years and been with the same man for 15, I feel like I am obligated to tell y'all that it's not easy. It is work because even if he breaks that agreement or she breaks that agreement, that contractual agreement, you still have to come to the conclusion if you want to break off your marriage. Because it have to be a mutual agreement or you're going to have courts all up in it. It's not easy to get a divorce. It's easy to get married. It's not easy to get a divorce. So I say this, if you are engaged and you've been engaged for some years, that means you need to think about your marriage, your relationship. Because you should not be engaged for umpteen years. It should not take you a whole 3-4 years being engaged to get married. That means it is some doubt somewhere in that relationship. Think about that. Think about the fact of the matter that y'all been engaged so long. This man proposed to you. He's willing to wait all this time to marry you, to fully marry you. I really think you should think about this woman waited this long to marry you. That means she had some doubts or you got some doubts. Because something should have prospered by now. Like, it don't take that long. Me and my husband, I know a lot of people don't like to do this, but me and my husband, we got married at the courthouse. We was like, forget it, let's go on here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need to try to do all this stuff, because if you think about it, you get this big wedding, you pay all this money, you broke. Bro, you broke. And sometimes you ain't broke, and you done spent all this money on this big wedding when once all this is gone, all this wedding, all this cake, all these people is gone, the only people that's there is you and your mate. Y'all gonna have to just deal with each other. So if you having second thoughts about getting married, then that's something you need to dig within yourself, dig deep within yourself, pray, do whatever you gotta do, get to your oneness, and figure out why is it taking so long for you to marry? Why is it taking so long for you to become married people? You know what I'm saying? Not every marriage is perfect, but it's probably perfect for you. Don't try to
marriage perfect.
It is perfect for you. I'm gonna say that.
Perfect for you.
No marriage is perfect. You know, I always tell people, stop looking on other people's marriage. You never know what they had to do to get to where they are at. Okay? It is a struggle to bring somebody into your relationship. It is a struggle to bring somebody into your life. You know, especially when you've been single for so long. Don't let me add kids on. You know, it's like you bringing someone, you intertwining someone into your life. That is not easy to do. You know, you're gonna have to change some things about you. That person gonna have to change some things about them. You know, think hard on marriage, because marriage is not an easy step. Marriage is not an easy thing. It's a lot of things you're gonna have to ask your spouse or your mate. Is this okay for us to do? Because whatever decision you make, trust me, it's going to affect the whole household. It's going to affect the whole household. When you single, when you dating, even when you married to, when you living with somebody that you're dating, how is it? Did you have to like always ask your mate, you know, was it okay if I did this, or was it sometimes you was able to do whatever? Like, how was it? How is it, rather? I can't say how it is, y'all, because I'm married. I've been, you know, long, but
I mean, I run stuff in my relationships. So it's like,
don't be like Ladybug.
I mean, it was still those times like you gotta get confirmation, like, oh, is it okay if it's cool and so come over, or is it cool if we do this or do that? So it was still like you still have to ask, like, just for respect purposes.
But it wasn't something like set in stone.
Yeah, because I mean, he still had his moments where if the guy's coming over, the guy's coming over.
Right.
So it'll put me in that mood. Okay, well, if your guys could just come over whenever, then, you know, my girls can come over whenever, but it's still about the respect part, because, you know, he's the man of the house. So.
Right. So it's really not much of a difference. It all just depends on, like she said, respect, you know. But when you're making choices, let's say you're making choices about how you going to spend your money. How you gonna spend the money? Like, did you have to ask, or was it like, I spend my money on whatever I want to spend my money on? As long as the bills is paid, we can do whatever we want to do with our money.
Pretty much.
And see, that's one of the differences with marriage, is that you can't do that. You can't. If you got money left over, it's now like, okay, babe,
our money.
Right? It's our money. It's not what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. It's what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. So if you go and spend it, let's say you got a check. You know, you and your wife, y'all done made $1,200 in 2 weeks. You got to pay rent. You got to pay bills. Mom always told me, pay that rent. If you don't do nothing, you better pay that rent. Make sure that rent is paid. I just want to pour that out to y'all, though. But let's say you got all these bills paid and you have money left over. But then you want to go buy you some hair. I want to go buy me some hair. You know what I'm saying? My husband want to go buy some games. We can't do that. We have to ask each other or talk to each other like, okay, we got this much left over. You know, how about we put this much up? Or is it okay if I go buy me some hair? Is it good? Or he be like, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Maybe we should put it up and wait till blah, blah, blah. We don't know what the expenses. That's some stuff we would have to ask each other, because those expenses affect both of us. You know, that's something that we would have to communicate with. And sometimes if you don't communicate and you end up spending money where it shouldn't be spent, then something didn't get paid that could have been important. You know, so that's one of the difference of dating, and, you know, besides the commitment, it's also financials that we have to make sure everything is good, you know. Ooh. Or let's say calling off of work. What about calling off of work? Was you able to just, I'm going to just call off of work and just, or would you like, okay, babe, I want to call off of work today?
Well, he was kind of on that. He ain't like to call off work.
Well, I understand that because you call off, you lose money. Yeah. But yeah, so with the calling off, we definitely have to be careful with that in a marriage too. You know, making sure everything is okay and we call off, or if I'm going to take the car, or if this needs to be done, or something like that. You know, that's something that's important in a marriage also. But yeah, we wanted to talk about this because these days people take some relationships a little bit too serious, and some relationships not serious enough, especially marriage. People take marriage very seriously. One thing I don't approve of with marriage is it's allowing somebody else in your bed besides you and your husband, because in your marital bed besides you and your husband. That's how a lot of marriages break up, because y'all say, oh, let's do a threesome, then next thing you know, this person want to leave you for somebody else, or one threesome ain't enough, so let's have another one, and let's have another one, and let's have another one, so it end up being a threesome relationship, a threesome marriage, you know. But with dating, I don't think that would be an issue.
I mean, it all depends. It all depends on the lady, because you ain't finna have no threesome with me and my man.
I know. I'm stingy.
You probably suck his penis and eat my cat, but ain't no threesomes.
Oh dang! She just went to over and
no
beyond.
No sex.
Oh Lord Jesus! She just went there. But but that's all we have for you all today. Stay focused. You know, on this path, that whatever path you want to take with your mate. I call it mates because I don't know if this men's listening or women's listening, whoever listening, regardless of who it is, a girl or a man, a woman or a man. Just be open, understand, talk to yourself, actually know where you want your relationship to go. And if you really want to marry somebody, then just marry them. You know, I'm with that. Say that again, Ladybug.
Set goals, short term, long term. Just set goals. Like, have something, have a purpose. Like, don't just be in it. Like, you gotta have something out of a relationship, because you be in relationships and you looking down years on years, and you in this relationship and you have nothing to prove for it. Like, you gotta set goals, and that's what they have a problem with nowadays. Everybody just want to be in a relationship, but why? Like, what's beneficial out of it?
I'm with that totally, 100%. Another thing I wanted to just point out, when you in a relationship, when you in a marriage, or if you engaged, stop trying to do stuff just for him or her and she's not doing something in return. Relationship is give and take, give and take, give and take, give and take. It's not give. Don't get something back. Give. Don't get something back. Relationship is not like that. If he not giving anything to you, or she not giving anything to you, but you feel like you pouring everything out to her or him, some got to give. Some is not right. Some is wrong. Don't marry that, because that is a very selfish relationship. Very selfish. And what you don't need in a marriage is selfishness, because you're going to have to compromise a lot. Sometimes. Not that much. But you're going to have to compromise. Depending on who you are. You're going to have to compromise at some point. I don't care what anybody say. If they ain't never been married, they can't tell you that you ain't going to have to compromise. Because I've been on some threads and people like, you shouldn't have to compromise for this, da, 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 da. If they ain't been married, don't listen to them. If they ain't been married for a long time, don't listen to them. Because their marriage ended for a reason. And most of the time it was communication and not compromising. Just to let you know.
Or abuse.
Or abuse, yeah. Jesus Christ. Verbally, physically. If you get abuse, honey, run. Run and don't turn back. I swear. But this is all we have for you today. You know you have to say?
Nope.
This is all we have to say. Again, I am Shorty.
And I'm Ladybug.
And this is Chick Chat. And thank you. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Just get us out there so others can hear this message, because I know it's people out there that need it. All right, see you later.